store, you know the one on 15. Got a bright shirt on, so I'm easy to see. I've been down and stranded indefinitely. I can't reach my planet, but I need to leave. You should see these people. It's hard to believe how they treat each other. It's hard to conceive. Oh, Earth is ghetto. I wanna leave. Oh, Earth is ghetto. I wanna leave. 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 Earth is ghetto. I wanna leave. Can you beam me up? I'm out on the streets by the corner store. You know the one on 15. Got a bright shirt on, so I'm easy to see. I've been down and stranded indefinitely. I can't reach my planet, but I need to leave. You should see these people. It's hard to believe how they treat each other. It's hard to conceive. Oh, Earth is ghetto. I wanna leave. Oh, Earth is ghetto. I wanna leave. I wanna leave. I wanna leave. I wanna leave. I wanna leave.
I thought you guys would love that this morning if you haven't heard it before. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the kingdom. I am so grateful to have you here. This is Justin Michael Williams. And as usual, we are in for a special session today. But today's session is actually going to be unlike anything that we've actually ever done here on the kingdom. Completely unlike anything we've ever done. And so I'm really grateful and I'm really excited to surprise you all. So be present. If this is your first time here at the Kingdom, and I know so many of us were just dancing with Christy Christensen at her yoga dance class just before this. The Kingdom was so lit today. But I see Mary Teresa here and Carrie and Raylene, so many of us here. Hello from Oregon, Karina. Hello, Fenna. Hello, Colleen and Mom. Heather, Emily, Isabel. So if this is your first time ever coming to the kingdom, type in first time. If you've been here before, you know what to do to welcome everybody in, And I'm just so grateful to be here with all of you. And so as we begin pretty much every single one of our sessions today, we start with our beliefs here at the kingdom and what it is that we believe to be true here as a community. And as a community, one of the things that we believe is that all beliefs are welcome here. All biologies are welcome here. We believe in the power of music to open our hearts and minds, and we believe that wisdom can come from so many places. Also here in the kingdom, we believe and we know that there is such thing as an expanded definition of self. And what that means is this interconnectedness that we have with one another. And I see my brother SJ is here. Not my actual brother, but my soul brother SJ is here from Miami. Hello, first time, welcome. And we believe here at the kingdom that we don't just honor or tolerate each other's differences, but we know that we are stronger because of them. And when we know that we are stronger because of our differences, we are able to rise together. We are able to stand together. We are able to truly come together in a space of vulnerability and trust to be able to hear each other and see each other and break beyond these generational molds that are blocking us from stepping into our full potential. And so I honor you for coming here today. To this. I don't know what just happened. But we honor the full spectrum of all of us. of all of us coming together to rise. And so I see so many of you here, and for those of you who it's your first time, or if you just haven't been here in a little while, remember that one of the things that we do here in our community is we throw our little emoji hands up anytime I or any of the guests that come up today say anything that makes you want to say like yes. And we also just truly make sure that we're typing in the things in the chat box that relate to us and that resonate with us so that we can remember them. And that's not just for fun. That's because it is actually science. Y'all know I love to weave in a little bit of science. It's actually scientifically proven that we're 40% more likely to remember things if we write them down. So any little quotes that you hear, type them in, all right? So if we were together in person, this would be the moment when I would say, Kingdom family, make some noise! And you would put your hands up. And if you don't have emoji hands, you could just type the word hands up in the chat box. And this is how we go. So welcome Candida and Charlene and Mary Teresa and Karina and Fernanda and Melissa and Magdalena and Ali and Indira. So many of you who we were just dancing together with in Christy's class and Jerry. We were having a good time. You would never know, huh? Cleaned up quick. So in our sessions, the way that these always work, for those of you who are new to the kingdom, we always begin with a poem, and we have a very, very special poem today from our sister Ali. Sometimes we have music or song. Today we started with our Earth is Ghetto song, and then we go into a prayer. And when we do our prayer, I will guide us through a prayer. And after I guide us through our prayer experience, then you'll have 60 seconds or so to do your own personal prayer. And when you do your personal prayer, this is your moment to bring in either a religious prayer or a spiritual prayer, or just set your intention for the session that we're having today. And then we go into a teaching, a practice, a golden nugget, and an action to help you take this into your life. So without further ado, let's pray. Let's pray. So y'all know what I like to do here in the community when we pray. Hands over the heart, just really feeling into your own heart space. Close your eyes if you're comfortable doing so. And if you don't feel comfortable closing your eyes, you know that you don't have to do that to pray. One of the things that I like to do is either look up or look down and keep just like a slight blurred vision out, to keep your vision blurred so you can just focus in that divine space within you. All right. You might try it with your eyes open today. I'll do the same. God, Spirit, Universe, all that is, all that ever has been, and all that ever will be, we thank you. Thank you for bringing this community here together. Thank you for letting so many of us shimmy and dance and shake and feel joy together this morning in Christy's class. Thank you so much for this growing community. For Mary Teresa and Ali and my mom Barbara and Colleen and Evie and everyone. I wish I could say every single one of your names. Fernanda and Magdalena and Raylene and Kalani and SJ and every single person here. Leslie and Indira and just everybody. I haven't forgotten you. I just don't want to make this prayer 10 minutes long. Thank you for bringing us together. Thank you for letting us actually feel those words that we are together, that those of us who are even coming here live or listening to the recording, that we are community, that we are building a space of hope and positivity, and we thank you for making this possible for us. Let us have courage today. Let us speak wisdom today. Let us hear wisdom today. Let us listen to the whispers that want to come through in our own minds and in our own lives so that we can step onto the throne. That is our own truth and our own destiny. Thank you, God, Spirit, Universe, all that is, for bringing us together. Let us ask the right questions so that we can open up to the answers of our lives. This is your moment now to welcome in your own personal prayer. Your own personal prayer to the practice. God, Spirit, Universe, all that is, all that ever has been, and all that ever will be. We thank you. Let all the words that are spoken today be used for transformation. May our community members have courage and be protected and feel the love and light and joy that is this life in all of its dimensions. So it is. Ashe, Aho, Salam, Amen, Shalom, Satnam, Om, Awen. Thank you. Nothing like a good prayer to get you together. Nothing like a good prayer to get you together. All right, Kingdom family. We have a very special session today. I say that every week, I think, but it's because they're all so special to me. And I get so excited. And look at us. I get so excited to just be with you all. And I see you, Alonzo and Leslie, Chris and Tara and Faith. Everybody. And I know, no 10-minute prayers. We try to keep it down to a couple minutes. So as we step into this session today, I'm very excited because our sister Allie, say what's up in the chat box. Allie is just such a beautiful member of our community, and she sent us just the most beautiful, beautiful, beautiful poem called Surrender, that it is my greatest honor to read to you all today. My greatest honor to read it to you all today. And so I want you to listen to this as a prayer. Hi, Samzy. I want you to listen to this as a prayer, and less as a poem and more as a prayer to your heart, because that's how I received it when I read this from Allie. This is Surrender. Surrender, she calls to me. Between gusts of wind in this midsummer storm, her hair is dripping from the rain, but she looks more beautiful than ever, grasping for breath. She reaches out to me. And again, she insists, you must surrender. If you ever want to get over it, you have to let it take you down first. Surrender. I feel my body tense up, ready for flight, desperate to escape. I realize I am terrified of losing control, afraid of the release, letting go, the falling apart, the relinquishing. Surrender. I want to resist. But despite my best efforts, I've never managed to outrun it before. It always finds me. At the end of every back road and alleyway I've sprinted through, desperately heaving and clinging to every ounce of control I thought I had. I found these 3 syllables waiting. Surrender. Surrender. I finally listened to her. As she calls to me over the sound of rain pounding against us. She tells me I need to release my false sense of power over the world. I need to release my false sense of power over the world. The idea that I have any control over my fate, over anything. I must learn to let go and be swept away in the current of my life, to let life flow through me. I must allow for growth and shedding and blooming and dying and accept that I have no control over any of it. It wasn't until I stopped running away that I realized the only way to truly deal with fear is to sit completely still, to look it in the eye and let it consume me. Surrender, she explains, isn't giving up the battle. It's not admitting defeat. She grabs my shoulders as she whispers in my ear, surrender is the only way you ever truly win the war you wage with the world. Surrender, though it terrifies you, though it goes against every instinct you have. Sit with it. Let it overwhelm you. Let it change you. Let it break and rebuild you. Surrender by Ali Quirk. Do you all feel those words? Do you all feel those words? That is a prayer. And so we thank you, Ali. We thank you for reminding us to surrender and reminding us to step into peace. And yes, SJ, it's interesting when I was thinking of you when I was reading that, actually, brother. And so as we go in through this space of surrender, we welcome in today's lesson. Today's lesson is on the power of asking. The power of asking. Now, we are today on our 30th session of the kingdom. 30 Sundays. Do you realize that's over half a year of Sundays that we have been together every single week? And some of you have been here every time. If you've been here every time, can you type it in the chat box just to say every time? Because I know some of you have been here every single time. My mom being one of those people, I know for sure. And I want to talk about the power of asking today. And some of you have heard a teaching that I've given before, and I don't think I've given it on the kingdom. And this teaching that I've given on high quality questions. High quality questions. Now, this is a big, important topic, okay? Because oftentimes people say things like this. I hear people say, oh, well, there's no such thing as a dumb question. I hear people say stuff like that all the time, okay? There's no such thing as a dumb question. And this is in, for those of you who are looking, I was just looking it up for you. This is in Stay Woke on page 150, okay? Going into the We Want Answers chapter on chapter 9. I talk a lot about this, okay? And one of the, the stories that I give about asking in the beginning is a story that I talk about with my baka, with my grandmother, who many of you have heard about or know about by now. And I always cooked with my baka, cooked all the time, learned so many amazing recipes with my baka. But I remember that even when I was in college and I was cooking with her over the phone, unfortunately we didn't have FaceTime. Oh my God, if we had FaceTime, that would be so amazing. But cooking with her over the phone, it was more than just cooking. Like, the cooking was actually the simple part. It was this beautiful time for us to really be together and talk about some of life's most challenging questions. And she was one of those people who literally, I could call upon any time I needed advice or support. And there was literally nothing with my baka that was off limits. My mom knows this, and anybody who knows my baka knows it was off limits. And this is the kind of energy that I want to bring to the world. Like, one of the intentions that I actually set last year that many of you have heard me say, which is why I even say I love you so often to so many of you, is because, and I say it at the end of my meditations and I say it everywhere, is because that was something that my baka did. And I remember when I was a kid, I used to think it was kind of weird, because baka used to say, I would bring home, I remember I brought home my boyfriend at the time, and I think I had just said I love you to my boyfriend at the time, but I got there and my baka was telling him I love you, and I'm like, this is awkward, right? But now I see it so differently. And one of the things that, I've committed to and that I've promised myself is, I said, I want to love people the way that my baka loved people. You know, every single time someone walked in the room, they got a big hug, which we're not doing right now because of COVID, you know, but they got a huge hug. And you really felt that no matter what it is that you were going through in your life, no matter what you've been through, no matter what part of the path you were on, that Baka was right there really loving you, you know, really loving you. And it was just so special. And that, I think one of my main intentions this year and beyond was to make sure that I was loving people the same way my Baka loved people. And so as we, you know, get into this, nothing was ever off limits with Baka. Nothing. Literally, I walked home sometimes in college on the walk of shame at 7 a.m, having just done God knows what, okay, the night before, calling her and telling her every detail. And she's just like, Lord, you know, like just going on and on. And so it didn't matter if it was about dating or sex or love or school or work or friends or food. You know, she was always there to support with her wisdom. And, you know, after giving me sometimes her sage advice, one of the things she would always say, you know, my mom can attest to this. Mom, you could probably type it in before I say it, is you got all the answers you need inside you, baby. All you need to do is listen. I'm just here to remind you, it's all inside of you. And I think sometimes when we're asking questions, right, when we're asking things in our life, and when we are doing that searching, right, when we're doing that deep searching, when we're looking at tarot cards, or we're looking at astrology, or we're looking at the pattern, any of you use these things, when we're listening to the kingdom, when you're listening to podcasts, when you're listening to Oprah, when you're doing anything, it's not even, what you have to remember is there's this interesting energy exchange that happens, because there's a lot of words that get said. And this is why I often tell you guys to write down what resonates with you, because there's a lot of words that get said, a lot of things that you experience when you're reading or listening. But what you're really listening for is like, this is what I believe, okay? I heard something like this. I can't remember who she was talking to on an Oprah podcast recently. And to paraphrase it, in my own understanding of it, is like, when we connect into our own soul, when we connect into the source of who we really are, which is a spiritual being having a human experience, which is what they say, right? The soul knows everything. There's nothing new. There's nothing to know. There's nothing to grasp for. There's nothing to search for, because the soul actually knows all of it. It's connected into that place, that divine place, that God, that spirit, the universe that is within you. There's nothing to know. And so when we're listening, when we're actually looking for things, what we remember is that what actually happens is, in this human experience, we forget. We forget some of the things that the soul already knows. And so when we're listening to me, or when we're on the kingdom, or you're listening to someone talk, or one of your friends is having a conversation, or something like that is happening, one of the things that I believe really happens when we're asking questions is we're actually, when someone says something, it's helping us remember that which our soul already knew. That's why you can listen to a podcast once and then listen to it a year later and get something totally different out of it. Because based on where you are in your life, you're getting that remembrance. You're getting put back together with your own soul. Do you guys understand that? And so this is really, really important, okay? We're just getting the experience of remembering. And so that's why you could get a tarot card reading, and somebody, I have my cards right next to me right now, and somebody could say something and parts of it resonate with you and parts of it don't. Because the part that resonates is you remembering the truth of your own soul. And so this is these universal truths that we wake up to, these moments of grace. This is that, yes, I'm coming back to my true self. I love this. So many of you were saying, and I just want to take a moment to honor, because I saw some of you saying it here. Kelly has been here every time. Tara has been here, everyone since 3. Dill has been here every single time. Magdalena has been here every single time. Nolan's been here every time since she's been here. This is amazing. Emily only missed one. Dion's been here every time. Amy's been here every since 1. Alonzo's been here every since 1. This is amazing, amazing. And everybody, I do want to put Allie's Instagram here in the chat box for those of you who want to see more of her work. She's just so amazing. Please follow Allie. And so as we go into today's session, when I'm talking about the power of questions, the power of asking high quality questions. And let me just I am so sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry. I just realized I was muted for like a long time. Ah! I said so many good things. I'm so sorry. I screwed that up. Okay. I promise you the sound is going to come back. And of course I wasn't looking at the chat. Damn it. Okay, so where did I leave off? Okay. This is Mercury retrograde shit happening. Okay. So my team, when you edit this for the podcast, obviously you know to edit that out. So let me say it again, because I actually do really know what I said. And I was so into it, right? I was so into it. So here we go, okay? Okay, let me just center back. Universe, give me what's meant to be said. Clearly y'all wasn't meant to hear that. So let me just... Okay. Does anybody remember the last thing you heard me say? Because I'm gonna go from here, okay? This is where I'm gonna go. So the last thing, the thing that is feeling called for me to say to you is this. When you ask a question, the quality of your question matters tremendously, okay? Matters tremendously. Wow, that was that long ago having my tarot cards next to me. Okay, so this is the thing. Sorry, y'all. Let me actually just take a second to recenter myself. That threw me off for a second. Okay. Okay. When we are asking questions in our lives, when we're asking questions about the things in our lives, what we're really looking for is to hear the yes within our own soul and with our own spirit. That's what's happening. We're asking that we may remember the truth of who it is that we really are, because there's nothing new, okay? There's nothing new under the sun. And so we're remembering the truth of what our soul says. And one of the things that feels really important is receiving wisdom. When we are receiving wisdom, often it has to do with the quality of the question that we're actually asking. And the quality of the question is really important, because what is happening is you have the option when you're asking questions in your life to ask either high quality questions or low quality questions. okay? High quality questions or low quality questions. And one of the things that I want to make sure is very clear is oftentimes one of the things that's happening is when we are asking questions to the universe, what some of us are expecting, what we're expecting is we're gonna pray, we're gonna show up, we're gonna ask the question, and then the answer is gonna like reveal itself to us within like 5 or 10 minutes. And then if it doesn't reveal itself to us in 5 or 10 minutes, we get like really frustrated and we get really thrown off. Does this happen to anybody? Hands up if this happens to you, okay? And so, but when you get in that energy of spinning and spiraling and you're not sure what to do and you ask the question but the answer hasn't revealed itself to you and you get super frustrated, what's actually happening is you're blocking yourself off from receiving the wisdom or hearing it in the first place. And so one of the things that's really, really important for you all to know is this, okay? Listen to me very carefully. What I talk about in Stay Woke is there is something called a feedback delay. A feedback delay. Because what's happening in the universe is when you ask a question, you are sending an energy in motion into the universe and creating a vortex around you so that you can hear the answer when it is ready to be revealed to you. And sometimes the answer shows up in numbers. Sometimes it shows up in symbols. Sometimes it shows up in a billboard or watching a TV show or in a podcast or listening to the kingdom, or it shows up in a book, or it shows up in a conversation with your friends, or it shows up in you just hearing something some random person said that walked by you or who you were sitting nearby in a restaurant. But if we get ourselves so stressed and so tunnel vision, like think about if those of you who saw the movie Soul, when the souls get lost, right? When we get in that tunnel vision, we can't hear or see the answers as they're trying to be revealed to us. In nature, in a sunset, in clarity, in seeing repetitive symbols over and over. And so when you close yourself off to the answers because you get so stressed and so focused at the answer coming to you in a certain way, then you close yourself off from the experience of being able to listen to your soul. And a lot of this has to do with, okay? A lot of this has to do with, yes, exactly, Farron, this is exactly what happened with the mute button, right? With me, you guys, the message being delayed. Perfect, thank you. And so a lot of times what happens is we ask the question, we're expecting it to come right away, it doesn't come right away, so we get super stressed out, and because we've gotten super stressed out, our mind is spinning and we're not paying attention, we're not open with our lives, and so then we miss the whole answer in the first place, and then we're stressed and we don't know what to do. And so I want to do a little practice with you all, okay? I love it, Indira, that this is resonating. So I want to do a little quick practice with all of you right now. And this is a practice that many of you have done with me before who were in the 40-day program, but I'm going to frame it a little differently for you today. And this practice is one that will help you learn how to realize what it looks like or what it should feel like in your spirit when you're asking the universe a question. Okay? So here goes. I want everybody, wherever you are right now, you don't have to look at the screen, to find something in the room that you're in to look at. It could be a spot on the wall. Just find one point and look straight at this point. And now as you're looking at this one particular point, try to focus straight on this one point without moving your eyes at all. And then place your hands over your heart and breathe with this point. Breathe with the point. So listen carefully. If you haven't done this before, even if you have, listen carefully. Look straight at this one point. Try your best not to move your eyes at all. And this is your question. This is your intention. You're looking at the point that you put out, at the answer that you're trying to figure out to something in your own life. But now what I want you to do is keep looking at this point and start to expand your peripheral vision. And so that means while looking straight at this point without moving your eyes, notice how far to the right of you can see. Let it expand. And then take in any colors or textures or shadows or light patterns on your right, all while still looking at the point. And then notice how far to the left of you can see, so letting it expand both sides. And notice if you can just even spot a glimpse of some things in your space, in your periphery, without having to look at them, all while looking at this one point. And now expand above and below you, all while looking at this one point, and take in as many colors and textures and sounds and everything that you can take in. Notice things like I'm noticing right now, like the smoke detector on the ceiling I didn't even notice before. I'm noticing the blinds next to me. I'm noticing a picture on my left. I'm noticing a shadow coming in from the right. I'm noticing lights moving from the cars passing by outside on the street. So just catch what you can, all while looking at this one point, and then take a breath in. And now close your eyes if you feel comfortable and keep that sense of expansiveness. And now, bringing in the other senses, notice what you hear around you. Just waking up your sound, your sense of sound. Notice what you smell. So take a few breaths in. Is there any smell, even if it's light, in your space, or smells barely like nothing, or like dust, or whatever you have in your space? And then notice your sense of taste. Just the saliva in your mouth, or like Christy did this morning, you can even lick your lips and taste your chapstick or whatever you have on. And then notice physical sensation. See if you can sense anything about physical sensation. So temperature, any temperature, or anything that your body is touching right now. Your shirt or your clothes or your chair or your feet, wherever they are. Sensation on your skin, even different parts of the body having different temperatures. So right now, my neck and my chest is warm, but my feet are cold. And then notice the quality of your emotions. What's your emotional state right now without having to change anything, just noticing it? Beautiful. And now wake up all the senses at the same time. Hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, feeling. And then open the eyes and see clearly now. And this experience of listening is how we want to bring our gentle awareness and attention to our lives when we have a question. Because the answer may come to you through a smell, like a memory. Or it may come to you by seeing something, or by hearing, or by sensing, or by feeling a sensation in your body, in your gut, or a gripping, or a heartbeat pulsing, or a combination of them all. But when we get that tunnel vision, we close ourselves off to the experience of our answers. And so the title of this session today was The Power of Asking. And what I talked about today was a little bit about how to listen. And I want you to notice that first thing that we did, finding that focal point, that's the question, that's the perspective that you're listening from. And so as I was on my slide before I had the audio go out, the focal point is the question that you're asking. And in a moment, well, actually, I'll tell you this in a minute. What I want to make sure you all know is the difference between high quality questions and low quality questions. High quality questions and low quality questions. This is really important, okay? One of the things that I always say, and I actually hate when people say this, people say, there's no such thing as a dumb question. Yes, there are dumb questions. there are a lot of dumb questions. It doesn't mean that you have to judge people for the questions that they're asking, but there are a lot of dumb questions. I think something just bit me. I'm like itching. Oh, it did. Okay, so I don't know what just happened. There are a lot of dumb questions, okay? And what a day. I'm like, the sound went off, something just bit me. I have like a mosquito, some bite, some welt happening. Anyway, I'm fine. You don't have to judge people for the questions that they're asking, but we also have to understand that all questions are not created equal. And in my book, I talk about the difference between high quality questions and low quality questions. And one of the things that I often say, okay, and that's even in the Bible, is the Bible says, ask and you shall receive. And so if you're gonna spend time asking questions, what is it that you're asking? What is it that you're asking? And so the difference between high quality questions and low quality questions is this. High quality questions lead to growth, possibility, and potential. Low quality questions are questions that even if you already knew the answer to, or if you got the answer to, it wouldn't help you. Okay, so let me give you some examples that I used in Stay Woke. One of my tricks is, and this is not a solid 100% of the time rule, but it's a way that you can get your mind to think differently. So I gave some examples from some students in my book. And I talk about the difference between high quality and low quality. And one of my rules is high quality questions oftentimes begin with how. Low quality questions sometimes begin with why. Okay? This is, it can be mixed. You can say what sometimes or when sometimes, but really how questions are really good and why questions are usually not so great, okay? So let me give you some examples here, everybody, all right? So a low quality question from someone named Amber in my book is, why is it so hard for me to lose this weight? Why is it so hard for me to lose weight? So check this out. Even if you got that answer, okay? Even if you got the answer of, I'm gonna try to go back and let's see if this works. Even if, hold on, there we go. Ooh. Even if you got the answer, okay, what's happening? Even if you got the answer to that question, why is it so hard for me to lose this weight? It wouldn't help you. You would just say, well, maybe the answer is like, well, girl, because you lazy. You know what I mean? Like, because you ain't been working out. It's like not going to help you. But if we change it to a high quality question, we could say, instead of why is it so hard for me to lose weight, you could say, how is it that I could lose weight in a way that's fun and exciting to me? Now check out how, if the universe answers that question, now you have an answer that can move you forward. Now, one of the reasons why I think that people are scared to ask high quality questions is because when you get an answer from a high quality question, you have to take responsibility for taking action in your own life. High quality questions give you responsibility. Low quality questions give you more excuses, more reasons, okay? And so this is really big. Hey, Stacy. And so this is a really, really, really important teaching. I'll give you one more example, and then we're gonna do something fun together that I said we've never done before. Lisa, the woke white woman in my book, her low quality question is this: why is there so much injustice and hatred in the world? Why? And I get why people would want to ask that, right? Why? Why? I just don't understand why people are voting for this man. I just don't understand why people don't see this. I don't understand why people don't understand my side of the table. I don't understand why the people storm the Capitol. I don't understand why. Okay, so let's get any of the answers to those questions. Nothing changes. Nothing changes, right? Nothing. You just have a reason that then reinforces the shit that's happening that you don't want to be happening in the first place. Do you understand? You all understand, right? Okay, I just want to make sure you can hear me. And so this is super important. And because the questions that we're asking, if we're asking the wrong questions, then we're just reinforcing what we don't want. And then we're getting an answer that tells us why that thing is happening, and then we don't have any movement. And so a change in the question, okay, is how? How might I use my privilege to help other people during this moment in our history? How is it that I might make people be able to see across divides? How is it that I might get one of my family members to understand something differently or hear me or see me? How is it that I can help create hope and positivity in the world? Do you see the difference? If you got the answer to that question, now we got change. Now we have action, right? And these are questions that I've been in. Look at everything going on in the world, right? Like, if I was asking, why is it that all these people are doing this? Why is it? I don't care why they're doing it. I really don't, because usually the reason why is some good reason as far as they know. My question is, how? How can I serve? How can I change this? How can I show up? How can I use my talents, my gifts, my skills to make a change in my life and in the world? How can I create the change that I want in my own life or for the collective? How? Do you all see this? This is big, right? So this makes us step forward. And I understand, I'll say it one last time. I want to give a lot of compassion because how is scary. Why is hella safe? Why is so safe? Why gives you the opportunity to call your friend and say, girl, I know, I already know, I know why, I know, isn't that ridiculous the way that they did that? I just can't believe these people are that way. I can't believe she did that. Why gives you more reason to come on, whatever the word is, about the shit that you are not happy about? How gives you an opportunity to change? So, here is our practice. You ready, friends? Let me just make sure everything's working again, okay? So here's our practice. I want you all to place your hands over your heart. Hands over the heart. Close the eyes. And before you even start trying to manipulate the question to make it high quality or low quality or anything, just take a breath. And I want you to think about some area of your life, even before you ask a question, some area of your life where you need some additional guidance or support. It can be super micro decision that you need to make about something, or it could be macro about the world. It could be something that you need help with. And now I want you to think of first a low quality question. What is a low quality way that you could ask for a solution to this? And then keeping yourself in this soft, still space, I want you to type your low quality questions into the chat box just so we can see it, okay? Type your low quality questions in, and then right away, once you type it in before reading anybody else's, is close your eyes again. And now I want you to ask a high quality question about the same thing. What is a high quality question that you can ask about this topic? It might start with how. Great. And now open your eyes and type that in. Beautiful. So this is our practice. And I'm loving your low quality questions, or I'm hating them, but I'm loving them because you're getting this, right? Why is this taking me so long? Why is it so hard? Why am I still in this city? Why am I not being disciplined? Why can't I figure out my next step? And I want you all to look over these in the chat box because these are big, right? You can see that many of us have asked these same questions ourselves. Why do I feel so anxious while trying to freelance write? Will I be at this job I don't like forever? Why can't I get stuff done that's important to me? Why do I get so triggered by certain things? Why do I have to move right now? Why do I lose momentum after challenges? Why is she so angry? Okay, now watch the flip. Feel the energy of these questions flip, okay? How can I best help them? How can I grow my gifts to be a better servant and leader? How can I maximize my time in this city so that I'm more prepared for the next place? How can I not get so triggered by things? How do I need to show up in my relationship? How can I commit? How can I build upon my spiritual practice? How can I be in flow with my creativity? How can I nurture my state of flow and ease? How do I connect with my new place that is meant for just me? How can I choose my next career step to best serve others? How can I help other women in their sobriety? How do I implement radical acceptance into my everyday life? How can I commit to being fit and healthy? These are amazing, you all. These are amazing. I'm looking for diaresis because somebody just said it was amazing. I'm trying to find it in the chat. Amazing, y'all. This is amazing. And so I want to do something a little bit different. I said we were going to do something different right now. Diaris, can you type in your how in here, or your high quality one? I don't see it for some reason. Oh, there it is. How can I be more generous with my gifts on a daily basis? How can I radiate well-being onto others? So here's what we're going to do today, y'all. Something a little bit different that we haven't done before. I'm going to put a link in the chat box, and I'm going to invite some of you up for the next 15, 20 minutes to ask some questions, to ask me some questions. And I will see if I can be of service to help you find an answer. And it could be the question that you typed in right now, or it could be a completely different question that you didn't type in. But when you ask the question, we're gonna practice this. I'm gonna help make sure you're asking the question in the highest quality way. And if maybe your question is, I have this question in my life, but I don't know how to ask it in a high quality way, or is this the right question? Then it'll be good. So I just wanna let you know, anybody who comes up, you're being recorded, so you know your privacy here, okay? And I wanna bring some people up on the screen. So here's the link to ask questions. And what's gonna happen is I'm gonna put the link up. You're gonna have to accept the audio and accept the video so that you can pop up on my screen, okay? And when you do, you'll probably wanna close out the other kingdom session because the audio is gonna be doubled and it'll be really crazy. So if you click the link and you come in and I bring you in the room, close out the room with the chat box and everything because there's a little delay and it'll be like an echo going back and forth, okay? Y'all ready? Here is the link, and I am waiting for you all to come in. I'm waiting for you all to come in, and this is gonna be so exciting. This is gonna be a really amazing moment for us to be together in the community and have a moment to ask questions. And if you're somebody who's shy and nervous, it's okay, okay? Okay, I see a couple people coming in. So I see Nolan is here. I'm gonna wait for a couple more people to come in. Hi, Nolan. Hang on just a second, welcome. So I see I'm gonna wait for a couple more people to call in. I think it will let me have multiple people call in at once. We'll see what happens. Earth is ghetto, I wanna leave. Okay, so I'm gonna welcome Nolan in, and the rest of you, feel free to click on this link, and if for some reason it doesn't work, you can wait till Nolan closes out. Oh, okay, I see somebody else joining. There's my mom. Perfect. I have them backstage in the green room. Hi, Mom. Okay, Raylene coming in. Perfect. Okay, and those of you, if you call in and I take a second to answer, just hang tight. Okay, just hang tight. So I'm gonna add on the screen. This is so exciting to see our community here. I'm gonna add Nolan on the screen. I'm adding. Let's see if I can add multiple people. I'm adding Barbara on the screen. I'm adding Raylene on the screen. And so one at a
Right
time,
here.
you can unmute yourselves. So keep yourself muted if you are not speaking. And I see Evie and Allie coming in. So we'll start with Nolan. Nolan, what's going on? Where are you coming in from today?
I'm coming to you from Chicago.
Chicago. Amazing. All right. So what you got for me today?
So I think my question for my high quality question I got to was, um, how do I make space for all of the things that I want to do?
How do I make space? I think we can push this a little bit more. So, can you talk to me for a second just about what in your life is making you feel like you don't have space?
Yeah. So the thing in my life would be that I typically any job that I have, whether I like it or not, I'll like put my full self into it and then be exhausted by the end of the day.
Okay.
And there's not really anything else there. If I haven't worked out before 5, because of that, I'm not going to the gym. I'm not going to write.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
Yep. Okay. I understand. I'm pulling a couple people into the green room right now in the back. So, here's what I want to do with you, Nolan. Are you like holding your phone, or can you put it down for a second?
I'm on my computer. I can put it
Your
down.
computer? Okay, you can put it down. Okay, cool. Don't worry about the angle. Can you place your hands over your heart and close your eyes for just a second? Have you ever done the incomplete sentences with me, Nolan, or seen anybody do them with me? No?
I
Okay,
don't think so.
so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say some sentences and I'm going to leave a blank at the end. I want you to answer with the very first thing that comes to your mind, okay? And I want you to not worry at all about it being right or accurate. Just trust whatever comes to you, okay? So close your eyes, take a breath in, a breath out, and you won't say my part of the question. You'll just say whatever answer your part. Okay, here we go. The thing in my life that's draining me the most is
Work.
specifically.
I didn't have anything come up.
Okay, that's fine. The thing in my life that I'm wanting to create space for is
Writing.
writing. And right now, the amount of writing I'm doing is.
About an hour a day.
And the reason I don't feel like that's enough is because.
Still generating ideas.
The person in my life who demonstrated to me that work was more important than creativity was.
My father.
And the creativity that he gave up was.
Writing.
And so right now, as I rework this pattern, I recognize that I'm healing both for myself and for.
My father.
And I realize that this pattern has never belonged to me, right? This is not mine. This is something that I learned. And so now that I have awareness of it, what I can do is
Relax.
and
Make what I want to do.
and make some more time for writing, to prioritize it. What it would feel like for me to prioritize writing more in my life, the belief that I'm telling myself about why I shouldn't do that is.
Money matters more.
And money matters more because.
Gotta eat.
Yeah, I understand. Go ahead and take a deep breath in and out and open your eyes. This is beautiful. I'm gonna add a Raylene and let's see. I'm going to add Raylene in here. Raylene, do you have any reflections that you might offer to Nolan of what you just experienced?
Actually, it brought up a bunch of questions for me.
Let's hold those questions, but just reflect on
Yeah.
what Nolan's experience was like.
Um, I kind of just everything that you just said really resonated. Um, I wasn't expecting you to ask
It's
me a
okay. You can
question.
pause. You're fine. It's okay. You don't have. This is not a performance. It's okay. I just wanted to see, what showed up for you. And I think one of the things, Nolan, and I'm just going to put you on the screen with just me and you for a second, and I'll bring you right back, Raylene, is this. Hopefully, you had a realization there. I think we all saw it, right? And and one of the things that's really important, okay, is, and I want you to anchor into this. You were modeled, many of us were modeled this, okay? So you're not alone. That you can have, there's a belief system underneath everything that you're doing that says that you can have work or creativity. Do you get what I'm saying? There's this thing of like, I, if I do my creativity, like just pay attention to like where you went. And I'm saying this with great compassion because a lot of us have this. Where you went was, if I'm creative and I write, then I won't be able to eat. Like literally, that's where it was. Like it's that level of distinction for you. And the question was, what would it feel like to prioritize writing a little bit more? Not to give up your work completely, not to do whatever, but there's a belief system in place that was modeled by your father, and that got modeled by many of our parents, that it's this or that. And what you want to get in the mindset of is, instead of this or that, is this and that. Both and. Instead of either or, we need a both and model. And it is possible. You just have to look at how to do it in your life, because the belief system that your life has been created upon is literally, this is why I say what doesn't heal repeats. Your dad gave up writing to do his work. Now it gets passed to you. And you are getting the opportunity to heal this, to not give up your writing for work, and also to show that they can be integrated in one. So you're getting a great opportunity to do this healing. And so I would be asking the question of this. My question would not be, how can I create space? Because it's not about space. It's about, how can I integrate writing into my life more consistently? Period. How? And then just be open to the answer. And if you want to add on to that, how can I integrate writing into my life more consistently and stay equally as productive at work? And see what comes up. Pay attention to other people. Notice people at your job who have creative things that they do. How do they do it? Is there anybody? Is this helpful?
Very helpful. It's actually funny because as we were talking about all of it, I had another realization. It's like, my job is creating. So like I'm already working the muscles, but I'm shutting it down somewhere.
Yeah. You got this. This is great. See these little blocks. This is beautiful. Thank you, Nolan. Thank you so much.
You.
I'm going to pop you off so I can pop Raylene in, and I'm going to let a couple other people up on the screen. So hold on a second. For those of you who have been waiting in the green room, I see you. So I'm going to just add some of our family. And Nolan, if I close you out, you can go back to the main Kingdom page. Cool? I have Raylene on the screen, and I'm just going to show some love on here. We're going to add up Anna, and we're going to add up, here we go, Evie. So we have the whole tribe here strong. And Raylene, I just want to offer you what's present.
Okay, so the question I have is, why is it no?
No, go ahead, do it. Do it as an
No,
example.
okay, I'll start.
Do it as an example.
Okay, why do I freeze up in these situations where, just now when you brought me up, it was the perfect example of when, for instance, I go on my little group. I'm doing the 40-day transformation, and I have my EVs in my group. But when I'm with my girls and we're just sharing, I'm in the flow. I don't feel self-conscious. Everything's great. But like in these situations, when you popped onto me, I like froze up. How do I change that?
Yeah. It was actually kind of amazing because your internet actually froze right when you said the word froze up. So we're totally tapped in right now. And so first of all, let me just give you this, okay? You are on a screen in front of 1,300 people. So it's okay that you'll get nervous and you'll freeze up. Like, it's not something that you're doing regularly and consistently. So first, like, give yourself a little bit of a pass, okay? Because actually they've actually studied this. Speaking in front of others, public speaking in any way, is the number one fear for humans. More than dying, more than jumping out of an airplane, more than everything. Number one fear is speaking in front of others. So just honoring that first, okay? And then second, say that again?
Funny, but I said I know that, first of all, which is funny, but second of all, I was on the speech team in college. So why do I have this? I guess it's because I'm not practiced.
Yeah. So I love the way that you're asking this question as a low quality question for us. Why is this happening to me? Why do I have that, right? Why am I having this experience? So I'm gonna give you a moment of a few incomplete sentences, okay? We're gonna do it, just a few. Okay. Is that okay with you? And just put your phone down, chill, perfect, amazing. I love that we have the little crown in your corner. And we'll be on, I know we're a little bit over our normal time. We'll be on for another 10 minutes or so. So here, and hopefully you get something out of these experiences. And I want to thank everybody who's come up and been so vulnerable to share with the group. This is a big, big lesson. So Raylene, go ahead and close your eyes. And Anna and Evie, I just want you to hold really sweet space for Raylene right now, okay? So we're all here together. Take a breath in and out. And I'm giving you a few shadow questions. When I was a little girl, when I usually froze up was?
When my mom was over my shoulder watching me do my handwriting.
And the reason why I froze up was?
Because she always was criticizing me.
And when she criticized me, I felt?
Insignificant.
Say that again. When she criticized me, I felt insignificant.
Insignificant. When she criticized me, I felt insignificant.
You can let the emotions come. It's okay. The place that I feel insignificant most in my life right now is? It's okay.
I think in expressing myself.
And?
I want to break through that, what feels like a barrier.
And if I was going to do any kind of physical gesture that was me breaking through the barrier, what that would look like right now is? That must be a very light barrier. I think if we can do a little bit of a stronger, give it a little stronger push, right? So, okay, if you were going to just go for it, like you need to move the camera back or whatever. If you were going to break this fucking barrier that is breaking you back, the movement that I would do would be, yes, do that one more time. If you were breaking through the barrier, Raylene, you're breaking through it. 1, 2, 3, break through it. That's it. So if there was a sound, if you were going to completely let yourself express with no holding back, and you were going to do that movement, and there was a sound that went with it that you were breaking through, what would that sound be? Yes, one more time. Do that. Go it. Yes, and Evie and Anna, we're going to do that with her. 1, 2, 3, we're breaking your barrier. Go. You're breaking through. One more time. Last time. 1, 2, 3. Break through. And then right away, hands over the heart. Close your eyes. I feel
exhilarated.
That's right. That's right. Look at the smile on her face, y'all. Look at her energy. Do you guys see this? So look, your high quality question is very simple, Raylene. How can I put myself in more situations where I get to practice expressing myself? That's it.
Yeah.
How can I be in more situations where I get to practice expressing myself? Because look at the joy and exhilaration that you feel when you do it. And so it actually is taking you more energy to hold it all in than it is to let it out. And this moment with your mom, like you were just that little girl. I don't know if everybody saw it, but you were like 10 years old just now, you know? So like your mom standing over your shoulder, judging you, making you feel insignificant. And then right now, that same insignificance that was implanted in your head from your mom is getting placed, you're placing it on yourself around your expression. It's not you. What Raylene actually feels is joy expressing.
Yes.
What little child Raylene feels is nervous to be judged. And so you want to hold that little child Raylene and say, I got you, girl. Watch this. You're going to love this, right? Ready, set, go. And that's it. And everybody in the chat box is like, I'm doing it with you. This is so amazing. So Raylene, thank you. So you got your high quality question. How can I put myself in situations to practice expressing myself more fully?
I love it. Oh my God, that was amazing, Justin. Thank you so, so much.
Love you, girl. You're amazing.
I love you.
You're amazing. I'm gonna have you go ahead and mute yourself, and I'm gonna have you hang out with us on the screen for a little bit if you want, if you're cool with that. Yeah, to just hold space for the others. And what we're doing right now, everybody, just so you know, is this is what I do oftentimes with a lot of my private clients. And we're doing it in the 40-day group often. This is shadow work. What we're doing is called shadow work. And this is some of the gateways into shadow work, which is really, really beautiful. So Evie, Anna, I see you guys next. I think Evie was in here first. So I'm going to go Evie, and then Anna, we're going to close out with you. Cool. I'm realizing I was just dancing with you guys earlier on the screen. And so now here we are. So Evie, go ahead and unmute yourself. And Anna and Raylene, if you make sure you're muted so the sound quality is good. Hey, Evie, what's up?
Hey, so my question is, how do I reframe my focus from comparing myself to others to shifting into radical acceptance?
It's a really complicated question. So I think we're gonna first simplify it. So tell me first. Okay, I'm trying to let me just cut to the chase. Close your eyes, put your hands over your heart. Let's do it. Okay. Take a breath in. I wasn't planning on actually doing all this shadow work, but when it comes, it just comes, and I have to. It's like if I don't do it, I feel like it's a disservice to what Spirit's asking me to do. So here we are. So thank you for being vulnerable, Evie. Take a breath in. Evie, are you in a space where you can speak freely?
Yes.
Okay, cool. The part of myself that I most don't accept is?
My self-expression.
And what I learned from watching Raylene was?
Freedom comes from the flow of expression.
And what's different about my situation compared to Raylene is?
I'm so critical on myself.
I'm most critical on myself about?
How I appear to others.
And how I think I appear to others at its worst is? Go ahead. What is it?
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable. I don't think your voice is that nice. Is that what it says to you? You're unacceptable. The voice in my head, what it really says is?
You're unworthy.
And?
A waste of space.
And? Go ahead. When it's at its worst?
You're out of place. Not belong.
And the place in my life when I was younger, when I felt like I didn't belong was? My sense of belonging with my family is?
Stable.
When I was younger, my sense of belonging with my family was?
Chaos.
Specifically?
With step parents.
The way my step parents treated me was?
Abusive.
And some of the things that they made me feel or they said to me were?
Unworthy and weak.
And that made me feel?
Broken.
So we're all just holding a sweet, tender space for Evie. Evie, how old are you?
24.
Mm-hmm. So this is really fresh. What is similar about what I'm saying in my head to what my step-parents said to me is?
I'm not capable.
Mm-hmm. Do you notice that there are a lot of the same emotions that come up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so if I was going to give a name to that voice in my head that talks to me, if I was going to name it something, what I would name it is?
Not my own.
Yeah, so but give it a name. What would you name it? First thing, without second guessing it.
Darkness.
Say it again.
Darkness.
Darkness?
Mm-hmm.
Great. And so if the Evie that is in her power and in her light that we all know and see and love could say anything to darkness, we're pretending darkness is a separate person now, what she would say is,
You are not in control of me.
Say that again louder.
You are not in control of me.
Mm-hmm. Do you see how you start smiling and grinning when you're about to say it louder? So I think there's something that's wanting to burst through. Are you alone right now? Like if you screamed, would it bother anybody?
Possibly.
Okay, so we won't make you scream then. But just as loud as you feel comfortable, I want you to say it with a little bit of force to darkness. Because here's darkness saying, you're unworthy. You're not worth anything. You don't belong here. Fuck you. You're taking up too much space. And then you're like, you don't have control. So if this person is back to you, like, what are you saying to it? What does Evie say?
You do not have control over me.
That's right. Can you stand up?
Yeah.
And just adjust the camera a little bit.
Yeah.
There we go.
Sorry.
It's okay. Can you tilt the camera up a little bit? Is that easy?
Yeah.
So we can see your face. Great. There we go.
Oh.
You're fine. We got you. Okay. So close your eyes, hands over the heart. Give your feet a little stomp. You do not have control over me.
You do not have control over me.
So even if you don't say it loud, give it some force. This is now little Evie saying this to her step parents. This is you, Evie, standing up for little Evie. So now you see little Evie there. These step parents are talking all this shit to her. And you see her there breaking down. And you're going to step in front of your step parents. And this current powerful Evie is, how is she going to say this to them?
You do not have control over me.
There it is. Feel that. Feel that. I want you to just keep whispering that to yourself. Because what you have the opportunity, let me just actually let you sit with that for a second. Repeat that in your head. You do not have control over me. One more time. Say it with strength inside your own self. Beautiful. Go ahead and open your eyes. How do you feel?
I feel a lot more powerful.
Yeah. This power, so you can sit down if you want.
Okay.
Whatever. Thank you for getting up and going in there with us, Evie, because this is deep work.
Oh,
this
thank
is
you
deep,
so much.
deep work. And you're like totally in the shadow now. I don't know if you can adjust
I know, my
just
light
a
is
little bit.
really
There we go. There you
funky,
are.
sorry.
So did you all hear the difference when she stepped in? It was from a completely different space in your soul. All the other times you said you're not in control of me, it was little Evie speaking. It was 5-year-old Evie speaking. You're not in control of me. You're not in control of me. And it's like, yes, I am. Sit your ass down. And then finally, when we distanced you from her, and we said, here she is, here's the parents, and I did it fast on purpose, here's you, right in the middle, what are you gonna say? Boom. I mean, it literally came from a different place in your spirit altogether, because it was the Evie that is strong and powerful, that was protecting that child Evie. And so what you're gonna need to do now, okay, just listen to me closely, is This, I had you give it a name, call it darkness for a reason, because it's not you who is not loving yourself. It's the implanted voice in your head that is your inner critic that has taken on the role of your step parents and is doing it in your own head. And so when you call it by a different name, you could even say, oh God, darkness is saying all this shit right now. And as soon as you say that, like mine has a name too. As soon as you say it like that, you separate yourself from it instead of, oh my God, I think this. No, it's not I. Darkness thinks that right now. I think this. And sometimes darkness will be all up in your face and you're going to be like, ah, but just naming it gives you a little bit of space. And then you can step in. And what happens is you see darkness and you see little Evie. And you say, what do I want to say? What do I want to do? And this is going to be a part of you taking your expression and your power back. Okay? Do you have any questions about this, Evie? I know it's a lot.
No, honestly, that seems so clear.
Yeah. And so your high quality question, what now do you think it would be?
How do I center into my own voice?
I'm going to push you a little bit further with that, okay? How do I stand up for little Evie every time darkness tries to get into my head? How do I stand up? How do I do that? Because that is what's actually limiting your expression outwards. Okay? Because you're limiting your expression inward. And so you got this, okay? And just sit with the questions. There could be more questions. It can arise in different ways, but that's your real work right now, okay? And just remember, it's not going to go away. Darkness is with you for the rest of your life, okay? It's just you learn to be like, girl, shut up. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna keep doing this anyways. Like, that's how it gets. Like, hey, oh, it's you again? Okay, cool, chill, got it. But right now, you don't have that relationship because darkness, it just like your step parents, you didn't have any control. And so right now, when darkness comes, you sometimes feel like you don't have any control because you're 4 again, or you're 6 again, or you're 8 again, 10, whatever it is. But now you get to go, okay, I see you, darkness. I see you, little Evie. I got this. Okay, and then you just protect her and hug her, and you stand there and share your voice. Raylene, any reflections for Evie?
Hi, Evie. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. God, as far as something to share.
I'll give you a hint. Just as the first thing you have to do, because you don't have to perform.
Okay.
How do you feel after witnessing her?
I feel empowered. I felt her empowerment. She was standing up. It came across, and then I got it.
That's it. Perfect. And this is exactly how we resonate, Raylene. When you get called on, when you get this moment, you don't have to draw. You don't have to go into performance mode. I know you have that in you, right? What am I going to say that's going to be really smart and really interesting and really different? Just right. First, because I watched you go, you were like, "Where is it?" You know, and that's part of your work of you wanting to. You talked about being judged and being nervous about people seeing, whatever people were going to think of you, and so we go out and we want to figure out what can we say that will be impressive. And so what your practice is in those moments, any moment, is what can I say that's true? And the first way that you do that in your experience is just to say, what is it that I am experiencing? And just speak that. And that's it. And that's how you resonate with people. Cool?
Yes.
Amazing
cool.
work.
It's funny, I feel that I stop myself from that because I feel like it's not about me. It's not about me, but it is how she affected me. So.
Yeah, it is. And actually, as Evie, I'm sure can say, what's much more powerful for her to hear is not some advice from you in this moment. It's to say how you were impacted, right? And so it doesn't make it about you. If you started going to a whole story, oh my God, well, my children, blah, 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 that would be a different thing. But you're just like, wow, I felt so empowered. For the rest of you in the chat box, everybody's still here, which is amazing. What did you feel by Evie and Raylene's work? Okay. What did you feel? Beautiful. And we'll see that in the chat. All right. Evie and Raylene, do you mind hanging out with Anna? for this one and just holding some space? Cool. Okay, everybody, go ahead and just mute yourself except for Anna. And hey, Anna, so happy to see you. What's your question, dear? Oh no, I can't hear you. Are you unmuted? There you are. I can hear you now.
Okay, good.
What's up?
Okay. I'm looking at my page and the words are like making a soup. I get really nervous on video calls too. I think it's like seeing my face.
It's normal. It's normal. Just you can move through the nerves.
Oh, okay, I know. And it's also echoing with
Oh, here, it's probably echoing from my end, so oh, I guess I can't do that.
it's
You'll
fine.
go ahead, just talk. Yeah, go ahead and talk.
So my question is, how can I be more in flow and in ease with my life and sort of in flow with my creativity? I'm just feeling a lot of stuckness in my life.
And so it's really interesting because I think this is a really good question, and I think that you're at a level that your soul really could use a more specific question, like a deeper
Yeah.
question about this, because like I'm like, well, what is like being in flow exactly? What is it that you're really wanting? You know? So would you be comfortable doing a few sentences with us, Anna?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So go ahead and close your eyes, hands over your heart. Just drop in. It's just us. The girls are holding all this space for you. Everybody's holding space. This will be our last one today. Beautiful, beautiful work. The place in my life where I feel most out of flow is.
Work.
Okay. Are you comfortable talking about this on here, Anna? Okay, cool. So let's just one more time. The place that I feel most out of flow in my life is.
My professional life.
And what I really want for my professional life is.
To feel creative and purposeful.
And what doesn't feel purposeful about my current creative life or professional life is.
A lot of wasted and frustration my own self with the place.
Say that last part one more time.
Just feeling frustrated with myself and the way I work and also the current work environment I'm in.
The environment that I want to be in is.
One where I feel inspired and my ideas can go places and
Because
that
my
I'm
ideas are.
good.
Say that one more time. My ideas are good.
My ideas are good.
And what I really want to do with my ideas is.
What I really want to do with my ideas is connect with people and inspire people.
But right now, what I feel like I'm doing is.
Not a lot of that.
Instead, what I'm doing is.
Fighting myself.
What my soul is trying to get me to do that I'm avoiding is.
Jumping into new territory.
Yeah. And if I jumped into a new territory, I feel like my creativity might be.
More inspired.
And what I'm most scared of, the reason why I'm not doing this is.
Failure, money. Maybe my ideas aren't as good as I think. Running out of ideas.
Lots of conspiracies, right? Lots of fear. Yeah, it's good. It's good that you know how to name it. But what I really know to be true is even that if I stepped out and stepped into new territory and tried my creative ideas and they failed, what I actually know to be true is.
That's how you learn. That's how I grow. That's how I've become who I am today.
And so without my failures or without trying, I would still be
more stuck than I am now.
And right now I am.
I'm tiptoeing towards where I want
But what my soul really is ready to do is.
to dive into it.
And I feel like if I keep waiting or tiptoeing, then what might happen is
Keep getting more jaded.
say that one more time.
Creatively.
Keep getting more what?
Keep feeling more bitter, more jaded, and creatively blocked.
And as you block, as you feel bitter and you bring that energy into your life and the blockage, you have to recognize what that's actually doing to all these ideas that are gestating inside of you. Right? It's like you're pregnant with these ideas and like they're getting infused with all this other energy. And so the number one step that I might consider taking right now is, if I was going to really go for it and not hold back and knowing that I don't have to do it even after I say it, what the number one step would be is
Keep putting my ideas out there without limiting them.
beautiful. Beautiful. I am
creative
and
worthy.
and I'm ready for.
I'm ready for territory.
Say that last part again. I'm ready for what?
For this new territory, for this new openness.
Yeah. Beautiful. Open your eyes, Anna. This is beautiful because you're ready. It's like you're right there. You're so ready. And I love the different layers of quality of work that's happening here in the shadow. Like sometimes, like it wasn't, I want you all to watch too, like it wasn't appropriate or even necessary for me to take Anna into her child and this and that, because it's actually all, it's all right here at the surface. It's right here. It's not even, it doesn't need to go that deep. You're somebody who is creative. You've done a lot of work already to step into your creative career. You've stepped into a place in your creative career, and all that's happening right now is you're ready to go to another level. Is go to another you're at a plateau. And when you're at a person who isn't somebody who's like, I mean, look, you have blue hair. You're not comfortable sticking with a plateau, right? Like you're ready to take things new, take things to the next level. And I know this because you're in the 40-day program and you come to the kingdom all the time. And so anytime we're stopping ourselves, it's going to feel like shit, And I could have taken you into a space of when you were younger, when you were trying to be creative, who was stopping you and who was this? And you could go there. And you can journal about that later if you want. But I think even more specifically, your high quality question is, how can I start to put some of my creative ideas into the world now? Not this when I step into this new territory, because the new territory is literally, it's just you taking an action. It's not like some place that's going to like magically appear in your life, right? It's like you create the territory as you put it down, Any more questions, Anna? How's that feel to you?
It felt good. I think I mean, it's very clear I have a lot of feelings about this new space that I'm going into. Even though I want to go there, I'm creating all these stories of how I can't, or how it's scary, or how my anxiety is going to overwhelm me when I'm in this space. But, I've already started freelancing and a lot of anxiety has come up, but this really reminded me of every step I'm taking is a step towards where I want to go. And I just have to keep being with the emotions as they come up, because it does actually help me process them and feel less threatened by them.
Yeah, you're doing beautiful work. And I think what you did today really resonates with a lot of people who are here, right? Everybody in the chat box, I know you guys probably can't see it right now, but they are like, this resonates so deeply. All 4 of you who spoke today are so inspiring and brave. Thank you. Because so many people are having trouble expressing themselves, have limiting beliefs that have come from our childhood, and have some area of their life, whether it's their creativity or whatever, that they have the idea, they're ready, they feel the force, they feel totally stuck where they are, but they're completely afraid to step forward. And so the question is, what is the next baby step? And so this is a good example of a high quality question that maybe isn't a how. It's like a what question, but that still gives an action. So what is the next step that I could take to start putting this out? The next step, just like we do with our power actions. I'm feeling called, Anna, if it's okay, and this will be the last thing that we do, to just pull a tarot card for you. Do you mind if I do that? Are you comfortable with that?
Oh, I love that.
Okay, cool. So give me just a second to shuffle up, because I don't know if these are fully shuffled. And I'm pulling from the Beauty of the Tarot deck from Brenda Villa, who many of you know. And I'm shuffling a bunch of times because you shuffle it 7 times to clear out the energy before. And I don't remember if I shuffled it 7 times last time or not. So I just want to make sure nobody's energy is stuck in there. But in the meantime, while I'm shuffling, Evie, do you have any feedback for Anna? I'm going to mute myself and you can unmute yourself and talk with Anna for a
Hey, so Justin asked one question and can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You filled in the blank and you said, I just have to dive in. And I felt so much grace and confidence when you said that because, you kind of already knew within yourself that that's what you needed to do and that was just like a place of home. So that really resonated with me and just the power and the energy that you held within that statement. So thank you so much for sharing. And all of that really resonates with me as well.
So beautiful. Sorry, go ahead. You can respond, Anna.
No, thank you. I feel like I've had that imagery. I think I even texted Justin about it like a month ago. Like I was like, I need someone to push me into the pool. And the kingdom has felt like, and Justin and the kingdom has felt like that push, because I'm the type of person that'll stand on the edge and tell a really great story and talk to everyone else and see how everyone else is doing, and then realize that I've been standing on this ledge for however long. So that warms my heart so much that you felt that and that resonated with you, because I know for me, saying out loud does always really help, and saying it a lot of times, which is why I like mantras now, really helps remind me when the fear and the voices come up.
So big. So this is all of us together. Everybody at the kingdom who's watching right now, and Evie and Raylene, we're all gonna push Anna into the pool. Ready? We're gonna just imagine you're sending her literally in your hands, you're sending her the energy of just dive in. Let's dive in, okay? Anna, ready? Everybody, 1, 2, together all over the world, push her in! She's in the pool, diving in. This is amazing. Okay. So I'm just going to pull a card for each of you. I'll pull 1 card for each of you as a thank you as we close, okay? So go ahead and just, everybody close your eyes. Place your palms over your heart. And I'm going to I'll pull 3 cards, 1 for each of the ladies on the screen. And then I will also pull 1 card for the entire group. And so we'll have a group card as well, all right? So everybody, hands over your heart, close your eyes, drop your energy into your heart. And if you've never seen a tarot reading or anything like that before, you don't have to be afraid. It's literally like just giving you the weather forecast. It's not like Miss Cleo, like tell you your future. It's very much just giving you some guidance, some gentle support. Just like when we started, I said anything that comes up in a card or a reading or astrology or beyond is just trying to remind you of what it is that your soul already knows. So everybody in this space right now, I want you to bring into your mind and bring into your heart the area of your life where you feel like you're needing the most guidance and support. Bring it in, call it forward. And I ask the universe, in accordance with everything that's light and everything that's good, let it be in this reading for Anna, Raylene, Evie, and the entire kingdom community. So it is. Amen. All right. Here we go. Oh, just wait. I love this. You cannot even fake this shit. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. I'm just pulling a few. And one for the whole community. This is it. Beautiful. So let me show you what we got here, and you all can look them up. Anna, the Ace of Earth. Let me get this light turned down a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. The Ace of Earth is a card. It's so shiny. And I'm just going to literally just say these words to you of what it actually says in the book. The first thing you're going to see when you look up the Ace of Earth is a new job. I don't have anything else to say. That's literally what the that's like, this is literally what this means.
No way.
Yeah, it's like it means a lot of, it means a new opportunity, something new in the physical domain, specifically related to career, finances, money, health. Ace of Earth. That's literally what this means. So look it up, look up a little bit more about it, and see what you find if you Google the Ace of Earth card. But that's what came up for you very clearly. That's why I giggled.
The message there loud and clear.
Yeah, that's why I giggled when I saw it. I said, oh. Evie, you have the Magician. The Magician is one of my favorite cards on the deck. I wish this light was not, so let me see if I just turn it. Okay, the Magician. So the Magician is one of my favorite cards in this Beauty of the Tarot deck, even though we're not supposed to have favorite cards, but it's one of my favorites because it's really beautiful. And it talks about exactly what it is that we have been talking about for the whole kingdom, literally from episode 1 to now. The Magician says this. It says, the universe is gifting you these divine ideas, clarity, insight, expression, who it is that you really are. And you see there's this clear quartz crystal at the top, and the quartz crystal is this clarity of ideas. And I think all of us can take something from this. And as you take these ideas down into the earth, it's your responsibility. There's a purple crystal here, an amethyst, to protect it, to protect the ideas as they are coming through you, to protect the inspiration, to protect the expression that's coming through you. And one of my favorite things about this card is it's about, and I'll just say this very quickly, I'm giving readings to them, but just know that I pulled all of our energy in. So I want you all to listen for something that's for you, even if you're listening to this and I'm not talking to you, because typically that's the way it goes. There's something in here for everybody. And if you resonate, you can say it in the chat box. The Magician is about this. As above, so below. You have done so much work on yourself spiritually. You have done so much work on yourself creatively. What is it that you have to do to take responsibility for everything that you've learned about yourself so that you can actually see it happening in your life? Okay? That's for you, Evie. Does that make sense? Do you have questions?
Yeah, no, it definitely makes sense.
Cool. And taking responsibility looks different ways. Like, let's say you have an idea about something or whatever it is. Taking responsibility for the idea means, what is it that I need to do and shift in my own life to protect it? Remember, it comes through divine wisdom to protect it as it comes down into the earth. Okay? Beautiful.
Yeah.
Raylene, we got a bunch of major arcana cards. These are big cards. The Hierophant, a beautiful, beautiful card. If you look up the Hierophant is a spiritual leader or teacher who has been through it, who has had the experience that you've had or who has walked the road, a similar road that you can relate to, that can help you step in to this next chapter of your own healing. Okay? And so there's a chapter of your healing that you're wanting to step into. And what it is that you're needing right now most is, I think there actually, as I'm looking at the way that this is, and it doesn't always show up this way, is there might be a book, a specific book that will help you. And there might just be, because that person who wrote it has been there, has really been there, what you need right now in your life so that you don't feel like you're all alone or you're the only one on this journey in this way, is to find someone or something that has gone through something similar to what you've gone through. It doesn't have to be the same story, the same thing, but a similar energy so they kind of get it, like they get the journey, and so they can speak to it directly. This is the Hierophant is the wounded healer, the wounded healer. And so this is also who you're stepping into for your own self. You're stepping in through your own wounds to be the healer that you actually know you have always been, and who it is that you're meant to be. Something else is wanting to come through this card. Where's my little thingy? Hold on.
I love you, Justin.
Hold on. Okay, every once in a while, Spirit tells me that I have to get the book because I'm missing something, and that was what just happened right now. So the Hierophant is specifically talking about a healing guide, okay, that is here to help you on your journey and to make sure, this is it, that you're having deep compassion for yourself as you go through the process. Because guess what? The healer wouldn't be as effective as they were if they were not also wounded.
Wow.
Okay?
Yes. And how do you spell font? Is it just
Hierophant. Hierophant.
it's Okay, cool. All right. Thank you.
Cool?
Wow. Yeah.
I'm just reading. Historically, sometimes this could be a priest or an authority figure. Today, we have a doctor, a therapist, a counselor, holistic healers, coaches, gurus, leaders. So start looking for somebody who's been through it, okay?
Okay.
And finally, this is why the second reason why I giggled. I can't get over the power of this group. So this beautiful card is the High Priestess. The High Priestess, look at her. And this is for all of us, okay? And I pulled a second card on top of it, which I'll talk about in a second. The High Priestess is not afraid of the dark. She brings light and shines her light of awareness onto the darkest shadows so that she can turn her pain and her shadows. You can see the blood red eclipse over the moon, that she then can put wings on her shadows and ride her shadows into her greatest purpose and her greatest blessing. The High Priestess isn't afraid of the dark because she has the light and she knows that she is also the dark. She knows that the dark is not here to devour her, but here to carry her as she shines her light of awareness out into the world. And so the High Priestess is the shadow work card. And knowing that our greatest gifts, the shadow doesn't just hold our trauma. The shadow sometimes is holding our greatest light. And when we open up that shadow, then the greatest light that we have, your expression, everything that you're wanting, your creativity, can shine through, and you can ride it just like the High Priestess is riding the wave, riding the wings of her darkness and shining her light. And finally, I pulled out one extra card just because something told me to. Hold on a second. Yeah. So I pulled out the Knight of Earth. And the Knight of Earth is an interesting card to pull on top of the High Priestess for all of us Because what the Knight of Earth is here to tell us is that we all have some new ways that we are wanting to bring our dreams into the physical world. Okay, that we want to bring the earth domain, just like Anna got, and the Knight of Earth, the earth is about how do we make things tangible and physical? How do we actually bring it down? And so the other thing is, as you're doing your shadow work and you're doing this light work, it's to remember to start the process. It doesn't mean you have to get to the conclusion, but start the process of bringing that shadow work and bringing it all down into the tangible world. Bring what you learned into the physical domain. It can't just stay in the spiritual. And as you do this, you're creating a pathway to guide yourself towards your greatest light and toward the mountain of your own becoming. You see the light way down there? The pathway that's being built of crystals, of protection, is leading you down the road to your greatest light and your greatest becoming. And so, there's your reading. Everybody, this was a kingdom. I told you I wasn't expecting to be on for 2 hours, but here we are. I want to thank you, Anna and Evie and Nolan, who was on earlier, and Raylene and Allie, who shared her beautiful poem with us. And as we close today, I just want to leave you all with just, this quick little action step. We talked about our practice, but we talked about our action, and it's very clear from the cards. You all have done so much work on yourself. How do you start bringing it into the world? Start. It's not how do you finish. It's not how do you get to the ultimate conclusion. Like Anna was talking about, I see this big vision, I don't know how to get there. What's the first little step that you take to start bringing this into the world? All right? All right, last thing, everybody. Last thing, I promise. Everybody, hands over the heart. Close your eyes. I want to make sure all the guests are muted in the background. And we are going to just welcome in our golden nugget from the practice today. So there was a lot to take in today. If you could take in one thing from today's session, one thing, if there was only one thing you could remember, what would it be? Beautiful. And go ahead and take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And think of that one thing a few times. What's your main takeaway today? And type that main takeaway into the chat box. You've all done incredible work. And I want you to know that I know I couldn't bring everybody on here today to talk with me privately. But if you are somebody who wants to do that, reach out. We can do this work. We're kind of scheduling for March and April right now. But you can send an email to hello@justinmichaelwilliams.com and the team will take care of you. Okay? And so I love you all. This is the power of asking. I'm going to put our guests back up on the screen just to leave us out with a little heart. And we love you and we rise together. Bye, everyone.